Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you very much for dialing in. My name is Bruce Watkins with the field marketing team here at NetApp SolidFire. And today we're going to be reviewing the VMworld show that just happened last week out in Las Vegas. You're going to hear a couple insights about the show, some of the trends and things that were spotted. You're also going to hear some insight about the NetApp message that occurred at the show. So between the two, it's really just going to be about a 20-25 minute update on what occurred. And presenting today primarily will be Andy Banta, the Principal Virtualization Architect here at SolidFire. And also joining Andy will be some color offered by Simon Wheeler in the Product Marketing Department here at SolidFire NetApp as well. So as mentioned, we'll just go about 20 minutes today. It's going to be very laid back. But before we get started, just a few housekeeping items to share. Number one, the phones will be muted, and that's primarily to keep the background noise down. But if you would like to ask a question, please feel free, and we do have the chat option available in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. And as a thank you for dialing in today, we will be sending a pair of socks, so hopefully you added your address to the registration page. But again, we're going to talk about VMworld today and what you missed. Again, we sincerely appreciate you dialing in. And with that, I'd like to hand the mic over to Andy Banta. Andy?
Hey, Bruce, thanks a lot. Hey, Simon, are you on as well?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Simon, excellent. So Simon and I attended VMworld last year as well, but last week. I'm the storage janitor at NetApp SolidFire. Let's just go over a couple of things that we're going to cover. Just what went on in VMworld US, the keynote to general sessions as they're called there, some of our takeaways, some of the NetApp SolidFire messaging, and some of the fun stuff we've done. VMworld 2016's message was Be Tomorrow, and I don't think anybody really figured out what that was supposed to mean. The only time I can ever think of saying Be Tomorrow was when I was headed into an exam that I hadn't studied for. Just a quick introduction. I'm Andy Banta. I've been at SolidFire for about a year and a half now. You can chase me on Twitter at @AndyBanta or email me at andy.banta@netapp.com. I guess my claim to fame is I have near perfect VMworld attendance. I don't ever miss the 2004 VMworld. I've been at every one since. You can see me hiding way in the back of this crowd. This is the SolidFire crowd that showed up at VMworld this year. You can see our founder, Dave, just in front of me, and the NetApp founder, Dave, just in front of him. And my co-host, Simon, way off on the left side of this picture. Wave, Simon.
It's that really good-looking dude with a bottle of beer on the left side.
That's right. So VMworld was held in Las Vegas this year. This is the first time since 2011 that it was held in Vegas. It's been in San Francisco every year since then, and it will be in San Francisco probably next year as well. I think it was scheduled to be in San Francisco every year, except this year they were doing some renovations on the Moscone Center. It was a 5-day show. It started on Sunday. Sunday was mostly just partner day, the Alliances guys, and there was also the VM Underground, their opening acts show. That kind of is, it's not really related to VMworld. It just happens before VMworld every year. VMware claimed the attendance was 23,000. They can claim that. It didn't quite feel like there was quite as many as they had in previous years. The 23,000 keeps kind of flat attendance from where it was last year. It's a big show no matter what. There were 430, or at least 430 breakout sessions throughout the thing. There were a bunch of them that were repeated several times just because they were so popular. There were at least 40 panel discussions that were VMworld related. There were a bunch of panel discussions in the opening acts as well. And one of the things that VMworld likes to talk about is how many hands-on labs VMs were created. So the big board at the end of the show showed that they had more than 100,000 or more than 10,000 VMs generated, spun up in their hands-on labs. Did you try any of those, Simon? Did you check out the hands-on labs at all?
I didn't do the hands-on lives. I was really more focusing on the fact that there was a huge amount of traffic for SolidFire on the exhibition floor. I attended all 4 days on the exhibition floor, and it was the busiest exhibition that I've ever come across in 25 years in industry. So it was really good.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have some pictures of us there. And since it was Las Vegas, this is the official billboard for that the VMware put together for the show. This is more like it. It's like, welcome to Las Vegas. Good luck getting out of here without at least a 3-digit dinner or more. Let me cover some of the general sections. As always, you've got to expect that the CEO of SolidFire is going to show up. Pat Gelsinger is going to give his address. Here's the kind of walkway in through Mandalay Bay, headed into the general address. And then there was all sorts of rumors that, hey, maybe Pat isn't going to do an address this year. Maybe things with the Dell EMC merger are going to change things, and there might not be a Pat Gelsinger address. Well, actually, there was Pat Gelsinger address. The links I show here actually will get you into all of the general sessions. So I think there's 4 general sessions total that you can get to with that link. Pat talked about the cross-cloud capabilities. Thank you, morning mouth. That VMworld or VMware is working on to manage ways of actually moving your VMs and your workloads between a private cloud and any one of the number of the public cloud vendors. The biggest thing was an announcement with IBM with their public cloud, the ability to just move VMs in and out. I know there's work underway with both AWS and Azure as well. The idea is that borderless data center, your VMs can just move wherever you need. In reality, it takes time to move the data, so we'll see how well that's going to work. The idea is that you can actually just orchestrate movements to and from the private cloud and public cloud all at once. Day 2's general session was actually done by Sanjay Kunin. It was on mobile apps. The idea that you can pretty much just do everything from a mobile device, your phone, your iPhone, your Android. The introduction of a product called Workspace ONE, which is the idea that you can run any application on any mobile device anywhere in the world. Those were the big general sessions. Did you get to see any of those, Simon?
No, I was really focusing on just the same bit.
Okay, same as me. Time to spend time in the booth and actually do the sessions that we were doing. So there were a bunch of big announcements there. As always, VMware announced their next vSphere release, or maybe they didn't. For the first time in I don't know how many years, there was not actually a vSphere release announcement at VMworld this year. Typically, they set the cadence of the releases to match VMworld, and for some reason this year there was no vSphere release announcement at VMworld this year. There were a bunch of other things. There's more steam. That's a polite way of saying hot air behind vSAN. There seems to be an awful lot of push on VMware's vSAN. This is basically their hyper-converged approach, how to put both storage and compute on the same nodes. Very important to NetApp SolidFire was there actually was an awful lot of virtual volumes momentum. If you take a look at this picture up to the left or the right of the screen, this is actually one of 2 of the virtual volumes deep dive sessions that took place at Las Vegas. You can see this is like a standing room only crowd, and this is actually one of the reasons I like Las Vegas over San Francisco. Is in San Francisco they cannot do standing room. There's actually no standing room ever in any of the sessions. Everybody has to be in a seat or out the door. So it's one of the things I like is that you can actually stand along the wall and make a quick exit if you want. One of the things I always love about VMworld is that there's a very strong VMware community, and they always come out in force at VMworld. This is like their major opportunity to get together. For as big a conference as it was, VMware really didn't have any bombshells coming out of this. They didn't have any of the big announcements like they have in lots of previous years. They oftentimes they save VMworld for their major announcements, and there just wasn't that much thunder this year. There certainly was an awful lot of marketing message. There was an awful lot of push on the existing products that were out there, and how to integrate them, how to make better use of them. And one of the things I certainly noticed from the expo floor is that there was certainly some storage vendor consolidation. Keep in mind that SolidFire was one of those where last year there was both a NetApp and a SolidFire booth, and this year, since we're NetApp SolidFire, we were in the NetApp booth. What have you noticed from the floor, Simon? I mean, did you actually get out of the booth and walk around the floor at all?
Yeah, I actually spent 4 full days doing that. One of the things that I noticed was that there was a lot of traffic coming from the NetApp presentations, which were very, very well attended on all 4 days. And certainly when it came to the section that SolidFire was occupying, so NetApp had the blue shirts, so NetApp SolidFire had the red shirts, and the amount of traffic that we were getting was huge. Lots of service providers, primarily digital enterprises, but the interesting thing was there was a significant proportion of customers that were looking to upgrade existing legacy architecture, so dual controller architecture, a number that were coming from competitors, that were saying, what they wanted to go to a next generation storage system, and they were really looking at block and wanted to understand more about SolidFire. So it was really good in terms of awareness and in the market. And the nice thing was that a lot of existing NetApp customers were very positive in accepting and recognizing that SolidFire was a good acquisition of NetApp, and that they were excited to learn more about it. So there was a lot of excitement on the exhibition floor.
Okay, yeah, and I certainly saw that as well. I actually have a couple slides on our expo floor, but I spent an awful lot of time presenting sessions, and the time I spent on the expo floor was mostly in our own booth, so I didn't venture out a whole lot. Some of the sessions that were going on, there were at least 5 or 6 different NetApp SolidFire content sessions. The big one was what we call the Dave and Dave show. This was Dave Hicks, from one of the founders of NetApp, and Dave Wright, the founder of SolidFire, up on stage together, mostly talking about how SolidFire was a key acquisition for NetApp, and also talking about how people who buy SolidFire really hate their storage. You can take a look at the link down at the bottom. Go check out the article in the register that quotes a little bit more of the article. On the left side of the screen, you can see Dave and Dave up on stage, and on the right side of the screen, you can see them up on stage with the social media directors of NetApp SolidFire and NetApp. Amy Lewis knows the phone, undoubtedly sending out tweets, and Richard Bliss knows the phone, probably writing a WordPerfect document. Other NetApp SolidFire content, there was also an awful lot of things around virtual volumes. One of the things that NetApp SolidFire is announcing with their next release, Element OS 9 Fluorine, is VMworld support. So there was a breakout session on NetApp virtual volumes with VMware, covered an overview of both ONTAP and Element OS offerings. Rep Bigler and I from NetApp presented along with Pete Fletcher from VMware. There was a Making SolidFire Invisible in Your VMware Environment. This was Josh Atwell's session covering the VMware and virtual volumes integration with SolidFire. Off to the right of the slide, you can actually see the panel discussion with Pete and me, second from the end there, transitioning to virtual volumes. This was a panel discussion talking about all the how different vendors were recommending that you actually transition to virtual volumes. It was a lot of fun. If you listen to the recording of it, we actually had some lively discussion, interesting comments. Also, Gabe Chapman, our own Gabe Chapman, did a session on the end-user computing efficiencies that are available with NetApp SolidFire. If you actually were a VMworld attendee and you didn't get to see any of these sessions, you can log into your account and listen. There's recordings of just about all the sessions up and available at this point. on the VMworld site. Bruce wonders who the guy in the shorts is. I need to do some research on that, Bruce. Bruce, I'll figure that out for you. So here we are with the booth, and as Simon commented, there was heavy traffic. We actually, Amy Lewis and Kelsey Cook were doing their pop-up tech talks in our booth as well. If you haven't checked out the pop-up tech talks, you can probably search on Google and find those pretty easily. I don't have the URL off the top of my head, but they're a lot of fun. And just like everybody who's listening live, there were socks days at this event. Here you can actually see in the center picture, you can see a side profile of Simon and probably the best view of me from behind. Otherwise, Reeve Floyd and Chad Smith are the other fine folks in red here. Simon, why don't you run with what we talked about in the booth, because we had a lot of fun. Go for it.
Yeah, we did, and so as you can see here, I mean, these were in the quiet times, and there were still people coming around. And the really cool thing was that even when the rest of the NetApp booth was running a little thin, we were still chock solid on the SolidFire part, even though there was only one demo. So we've got the demo there in each of the pictures. And one of the themes that came across was this concept of ease of use, and the fact that, you know, on this demo, you can see that apart from the power cable, it's 4 cables. It's, you know, 2 for administration, 2 for the inter-cluster communication, or internal cluster communication. And the fact that it's so simple, easy to use, easy to change drives, easy to wire, simple. This is a theme that came across every time with so many different customers and ex-NetApp shops or NetApp customers as well. They love the simplicity of the offering that we have here and the ability to create a heterogeneous cluster made of multiple different size nodes. And these are some of the 2 key elements that came across time and time again from the different customers they're looking for, and it's indicative of a trend that we're seeing not just in our traditional service provider market, but also in the SaaS market and also the digital enterprise markets, where we are really continuing to grow. So it was those 2 elements, as well as the other one which came across very frequently, which was guaranteed QoS. The fact that with the SolidFire cluster, you are able to provide a single user, single application experience in a multi-tenant, multi-application environment. And that message really resonated well with lots of people that said, well, okay, that's your claim. How do you do this? And when you explained the concept of guaranteed QoS with not just maximum but minimum IOPS as limits as well as burst capability, there were a number of people that, you know, their eyes just lit up and said, wow, you can actually do that. So this message of, you know, the bleeding edge technology that we have here at SolidFire, it still needs to be communicated, and there are still lots of customers that are really lit up, and when we talk to them and educate them about the capabilities that we have. So those are really the 3 themes and the 3 common messages that were coming across on all 4 days on the exhibition floor.
Cool. And something I never thought I'd see is a NetApp N and anything other than the traditional blue. So there you have it.
I'm with you.
Yep. And the NetApp SolidFire guys actually did an awful lot of fun things at VMworld as well. Every Sunday for like the past 8 years, there's actually been a corporate dodgeball tournament at VMworld called Dodgeball. It's B0DGE ball. You can actually go look at it, sign up for it any time at the URL. It's a charity benefit for the Wounded Warrior Project. Here you can actually see the SolidFire Plus team, the Fire Bunnies. Here they are getting ready to go. We were playing at the Las Vegas Sports Complex, and actually when you got on court, the Fire Bunnies looked a little bit more like this, with them standing off the side after they'd all been picked off, and we're waiting for the last final people to get removed from the court. Other fun stuff, actually the VX4 Giveaway was a huge thing. This is the second year that NetApp SolidFire has done Cards Against Humanity giveaway for the VXperts. Here you can actually see a box of them in our booth. It's kind of glary, but it's there. And just an example of a couple of the cards, a couple of the ones that I could actually show in a webinar are available on the right side in the box. If you didn't get your VXpert giveaway at VMworld US, you can potentially get it at VMworld Barcelona. You can also contact me or other people via Twitter, and when more become available, we will make sure that you get one. Other fun stuff was on Tuesday night, Dave Wright hosted a poker tournament in the Four Seasons right next to Mandalay Bay. Custom poker chips there. You can see Dave on his own poker chip. Results were posted elsewhere. I know that Dave walked away with a big chunk of the pot. I don't know whether that was out of courtesy or skill. We'll leave that alone. But just a great time at VMworld. I will be back at VMworld Barcelona, as will a bunch of other people. I expect that VMworld Barcelona is going to be just as much fun. Simon and I both work for NetApp SolidFire. I believe that Simon actually ran through quite a few of the features that are available on the NetApp SolidFire box. If you're actually interested in finding out more, you can just go to solidfire.com, and we have all sorts of resources and ways to contact us if you want. Any comments on that, Simon?
No, I think we've really covered this.
Okay. And another place for resources, you can actually go sign up for VMworld Barcelona at VMworld.com. Great place to find out more about SolidFire stuff is in our SolidFire blogs. If you're a VM user, you can actually go check out the vMugs in your area. They're regional VMware user group get-togethers, and once again, Barcelona VMworld coming up in October. And I think Bruce has a few words to finish us off. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Andy. Simon, thank you very much. We do appreciate everybody's time today. Much like VMworld is focused on the VMware product line, NetApp SolidFire also has a show at the end of September called Insight, very similar in type of show. We will have a follow-up, What You Missed, in case you can't go to Insight, on October 6th. So please sign up for that. We will send out some invitations to that shortly. Again, we will offer a pair of socks for the October 6th participation. But with that, we appreciate your time, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks.